Tammy here, back with a tutorial. Someone asked me how I made the flowers for some boxes that I'm working on. They're 3-compartment boxes, and she asked me if I would do a video showing how I made the flowers. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to make the flowers. I'm going to show you the first one, which I'm going to do for the boxes, the last 2 boxes that I'm making now, and then the other set of flowers, it's again for the 2 boxes, but I'm going to show you the other way that I do it. So I'm going to be using the Paper Blossoms Craft Molding Mat by McGill, and this is what it looks like. So it's kind of like a 1/4 inch thick foam, and this lets you mold and shape the flowers however you want. And then I'm going to use Tonic Studios. I guess they're supposed to be embossing tools, but I'm using them for the flower molding, I guess is what you call it, shaping, molding, shaping, whatever. So these are the ones that I'm going to use, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, there's 6 different sizes. I'm not sure of the millimeters on them because I don't have the package anymore. So anyway, it goes from really large, and that's for your bigger petals, to really tiny, which is you could do detail work with these. Now this one I actually use with my scoreboard a lot because I love that size and it works perfectly. So these actually give me 2 functions: paper, the flower molding, shaping, and then scoreboard, whichever one. So, but I usually use that one. Anyway, so let's get started. So the flowers that, the flower petals that I'm going to show you how to do are the ones that actually lay like this. And if I would have thought about it, I would have brought the other box in to show you the other type of flower, but you'll see when we make that set. So each set of flowers has 3 petals. Okay, and they come flat like this. And then what I did was I took Reverse Confetti's mini ink pads, and I used the wine color, and I just used a mini dauber, and I just went around the edges, and it's a dye ink, so if it gets wet, it's fine. But anyway, so to help shape these paper flower petals, I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of water, like that, and that's going to help me shape it. And then when the petals dry, they'll be really strong, and they'll be, it's easier to mold it this way, and then the petals will be strong. So what I did on these was I just kind of pressed them in like this. Okay, and then I went back to the center, flipped it over, and then kind of press that in. So when I put this flower together, it's going to have some dimension to it. So anyway, on the bigger one, I'm just going to use the big end of this one, and I'm just going to kind of work it in a circle like this until it's kind of like got a little indent, and then I'm going to push in on that, and that's going to help the petal to curl up. So I'm going to do that again on all of them. That. And I just kind of go around, pressing in, and then you'll see the petals start to get a form. And then I'm going to go in the center, and I'm going to push that down like that. So I'm going to let these dry because I'm using water on them, and then they have some texture on the petals too, so it's not just a straight looking petal. But we'll put the flowers together in a minute. So, all right, I'm going to do these 3. I don't want to spray the foam pads, so I'm going to spray them off to the side. That. And then this is, wetting it is just loosening the fibers in the paper, and it helps to mold it be easier. So on this one, we can use the bigger one. I think I'm just gonna, yeah, so just kind of work it till it forms a little bowl. This one's not going to be so difficult because it's not as big as the other one. It's a little harder when it's wet to get it to move around like it's supposed to. So I usually don't have them all on there. Okay, then we're going to flip that over. And then we're going to push down on the center kind of hard. Okay, so that's the one. And then this one, now I'm going to switch to probably this size, which is it's not the next size down, but it's the third size down from the big one, so, okay. And I'm using the, it's called craft stock paper pad. I used it on all of my boxes. I got it at Michael's, and here I'll show you. The paper pad I'm using for these two boxes is Craft Smart, and doesn't really have, oh, it's Romantic Garden, so that's the paper pad I'm using for these flowers. And oops. And there's a video by Heartfelt, because they're really known for their 3D flowers and stuff, and they have a pretty nice toolkit for doing this with a foam, and it comes with it's in a box and everything, but I wasn't gonna like buy another one when I already had tools that I can use, so that's what I did. Alright, and the smaller you get with the flowers, a little more difficult it is with the tools. So let me see, spray this one. And if you want to see like the various flowers and stuff that Heartfelt, they have molds and stamps that you can use, and then they have their toolkit, which is more in depth than this. It has a lot more pieces that go with it, but they have tutorials on how to do some really pretty flowers. But I'm just using these little flower dies that I got from AliExpress, and I just cut them out and then just figured I'll just do this, make my own flowers. So there's that one. And the smaller it goes, it's easier to do the little petals once you get going. That one didn't turn out so well. Let me do that one again. Okay. And just depending on the size of your petals, depends on what size tool you want to use. So I think I'm going to go with this tool now. This is going to be the little center. And you don't always have to go in the circular motion to make it round. You can also just push down on it into the pad, and that'll help, especially if it's wet. The other way that I'm going to show you, there you go, there's the center of that one. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my glue. I'm going to put glue in the center, and then start putting my petals together. Now on the other set of flowers that I'm going to show you, it's actually reverse of this. So there's one flower, and then I'm going to put an acrylic gemstone in the middle of each one of these. So but I love making these flowers now that I know how to do it. Oh, I think this one has two of the same size, so and you're just going to kind of you're going to overlap them so that the petals, you know, are one in just slightly over from the center of the previous one. And I put glue in that one. Didn't mean to do that yet. I was going to do that when I did the acrylic, but that's okay, it'll come off. So there's another one. And then we're going to put the small one together, which I actually use my tweezers to do the smaller ones because it's just easier for placement than to try to get my big fingers in the way. Alright, so there's that one. Okay, and then there's the final petal, if I can get it in there. And then I'm just going to push it on that one. So there's the third flower for that one. And then when those are dry, I'll put the gemstones in the middle. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you. You need the water. We're going to spray it with water. And I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, that one, and that one. Okay, so here's the big one. So we're going to do basically the same thing that we done on this one, except we're going to do it on the front. So you can do either or. This one makes more of a closed flower. This is what I did for the other boxes. So just going to curl it like that. This one's actually harder on my arm. And this is going to make the flower go like this instead of flat with the petals, having some dimension. But either way is fine. I don't know. Let me try this. So yeah, you can do that. Which is not what I did, but I just was going to show you. So I did that because I kind of wanted it to be cupped like that. And then we're going to do this. And I was going to decorate the boxes with just, you know, already store-bought flowers, but I wanted to coordinate the flowers on the outside with the paper that I used on the inside. So now this is actually harder to do because the paper isn't wet, so it's not moldable. So you have to push a little bit harder into the foam like this, but I had to actually do like 2 boxes a day because this was killing my shoulder making these flowers. I was like, oh my god. But then when I did the water on those, I was like, that is so much easier. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so I almost got those done. Alright, so those 3, and I'll show you what they look like. Once you put them together, you get more of the closed flower that I was telling you about. So I'm going to use this to help me kind of hold those. And you're not stuck with just having one type of flower. So okay, and then on this one, I don't think I used that one. I think I used the second size. size. So I just kind of like pushed it in the center, and it just gives you a cup looking flower. So you've got this way, which is doing the petals reversed and then pushing in on the center, and then you've got this way, which is the way I did it for the other 4 boxes. So I'm just going to grab the next 3 and do those, and then I'll show you. We'll put the gemstones in there. So anyway, okay. So now, if you wet the paper and use the smaller stylus and work your way out from the center of the flower, so here, and then go like this, you'll get a different effect on your petals as well. So I think when you spray it with water, you get more effects, and you can get more texture by doing it on the back. But I like the cup looking flowers, so this works for me. This one's kind of got like a Japanese feel. And again, I did the same thing on these flowers around the edges that I did with the other ones. I used the reverse confetti wine ink pad dye ink, and just went around the edges with my little distress tool. So there's that one. Okay, and then we have the little tiny ones. So I'm going to use this one. Sorry if my head's in the way. Kind of got to get over these. And then on the smaller ones, sometimes I'll work from the center and go out just because they're smaller, so I don't want them to be that difficult to put together. Probably should have gone with the next size down, but so again, if you have flower dies, you're not really sure what to do with them, you're just cutting them out and putting them together, try this. Just get this was really cheap. I don't remember how much I paid for it. It was last year, but it was not that expensive. And break it out, and then just experiment. Get your tools. I think I specifically bought the tonic styluses for this, but I just recently got into using them for flower making, because since I was just using that one for the scoreboard, but I was like, I really need to break those out and learn how to use them the right way. So anyway, all right, so we're going to put these together. And there's so much you can do to decorate these, especially the centers. You can put flower stamens. You can put a hole in the center and put little flower stamens, or you could put gems, or you could use stickles in the center. I've seen that done, and that's really pretty. So, okay, just going to push in on that. There's that flower, and then I'll lose all my flowers. All right, and then the little bud. I just think this one's so cute. and I'm using art glitter glue to put the flowers together, and I like art glitter glue is actually my favorite. When I used to do mixed media, I used to just do gel medium or Mod Podge or whatever, but since I've started getting into paper crafting a few years ago, I've decided that art glitter glue is my go-to. So anyway, all right, let me find my, so what I do for the little ones, the little tiny ones, I have these sheets of smaller acrylic sticker gems, and I don't have the size in here that I need for the little ones. So what I do is I just put a little bit of glue like that, and then I use this size right here, the medium size, and I stick that in the center of the flower. Oops, crap. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the little one, other little one while I have it out. So these turned out really pretty too. I like those. And I just stuck with I don't think that's gonna work. Yep. And I'm not worried about the glue showing because it's actually going to dry clear, but there's the other one. So then for these, the medium-sized ones, I'm going to use, I think I got that gemstone sticker sheet at the AliExpress. So on this one, I'm going to use that size for those, and then for the big ones, this one, I might not be able to use the big ones like I did on the other one. Yep, I'm going to use those. So, and then on this one, I'm going to use the bigger gemstone, which I think is the second largest one in the that I have. So, okay. Once again, put the art glitter glue. Use my tweezers. And actually, you know what? Okay, so here we learned something new. So these type of flowers aren't going to be able to take the big gemstones like the other type of flowers. And that's okay because I like that look. I don't know, I might have to make me a bunch of these because I really like those. Those turned out really pretty. And there aren't a lot of videos on how to do this. There's a lot of like the paper quill kind where you twist them. And I know that people often, you know, they'll cut out the die cuts of the flowers and then they'll just put them together. They won't give them any dimension like what we're doing here. So I really like this and really like how they turn out. So I think that's really pretty. Alright, and then we have our last one. So, but I do like how this one's kind of growing on me. I like how this one turned out too. You know, and you can use like the smaller ones like this to do veins in the leaves. You know, when you, especially if you're going to do it this way with the water, that really helps to let you mold the paper the way you want. And then you can, you know, scrunch them up. If you want to make like pointy, if you want the petals to be pointy, you can scrunch them up and do it that way and kind of give it that, I don't know what the flower's called. I want to say aster, but I don't think that's right. So anyway, so here's the flowers that we made tonight. It turned out really cute. So now I can finish my next two boxes, or actually my last two square boxes, and then I'll be done. So anyway, that is how you make those flowers, and want to thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to be notified when I upload more videos, please hit the subscribe button. If you hit the little bell icon to the right, that will notify you when I do upload a new video so you won't miss anything. But anyway, so have a blessed evening, and everyone stay safe and warm. I know winter's upon us, so um, just stay safe and warm. And thank you for stopping by, and I will talk to you guys later.